All right, good day to all you glorious, legendary resonators, you absolute lovely bastards. Today's video conversation of topic is going to be none other than about myself and what we need to address. This video, I'm going to straight up just say it like this. In the last couple of weeks, I've been putting out content that pretty much has been nitpicking content on WutheringWaves, as well as criticizing it quite a bit. And after talking to a couple people on Discord and everything else, I do see a couple of different flaws and I want to take responsibility for it. So today's video, I'll be honest with you, hopefully I don't ramble on that much in this video, but we're gonna do this completely straight, you know, no script, no notes, and I just want to talk to you directly. So if you would join me, I'll just ask you to take a seat real quick, relax, grab a cold one, and let's have this conversation. Let's address my issues. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and just get straight into this, and hopefully my English is going to work today. I haven't really slept any. Pretty much I've been talking in Discord with a few different people about myself and my content in general, and you know, I realized it for a little while what I was doing, but I just kept going, and that is the nitpicking and the criticisms of WutheringWaves. And I know to fresh eyes, you know, someone who's never been on my channel that does not know me may take a look at some of my content and just be like, well, you know, this guy's a fucking asshole. This guy pretty much does not know what he's talking about. This guy has no idea about the free-to-play mentality. He's a whale. There's a lot of different opinions that's going across, and honestly, each and every one of them is justified. I'll be completely honest. I think it's justifiable. I think like one person that put it to me point blank is that like they like my content, it's just that they feel like, you know, I nitpick a little bit too hard on WutheringWaves when it comes to certain things that we talk about, whether it is the story, whether it is some of the events. You know, I tend to nitpick certain things and hold on to it, and I get it. You know, that is something that I need to honestly take responsibility for and correct that for future content. And I'm going to do that straight up. I'm going to try my best to stop on the nitpicking. Like, I don't know the best way to explain it is that I just, you know, looking back at some of my content and everything, you know, it almost feels like I'm creating a hit piece against WutheringWaves by liking WutheringWaves so much and criticizing all these little different elements instead of just letting it go. And I understand that. But I do criticize WutheringWaves because I do love it. Now, for those out there that you really don't know who I am, you're still new to the channel, you're not people who really know me, you heard of me. Let me put it this way to you. The people who is closest to me, the people who really do know me, understand my brain better than I do. I'm a person that really doesn't hate anything. I don't hate Genshin Impact, for example. I don't hate WutheringWaves. I don't hate ZZZ. I don't hate generally anything in reality. The thing is that when I see something or I find that a topic is very interesting, it's hard for me to let it go. My brain works in a way to where some people out there think that I am trying to belittle them, that I'm trying to make them feel stupid, when that's not the case. It's because I get passionate and I get into this talking phase, and I like to talk. I like to have conversations. I like to have debates. I like to be that person on the other side pretty much to almost every single conversation, not because I want to piss that person off, it's because I want to have that debate. I want to understand their point of view from pretty much questioning their point of view. And that's what really this channel is about. If you look at my content, like, I think the best way I could explain it is that like everything that I criticize about WutheringWaves is truly things that I do like about the game. You know, like I criticize it because I want WutheringWaves to be better and better and better. That's why if you come onto the live streams and you come find me, you come talk to me, you ask me a question, and I give you my point of view, and you ask, well, that makes no sense. I try to explain, you know, like if it's a question like, hey, WutheringWaves endgame, why you don't consider this an endgame? Because I've played, you know, Devil May Cry Peak of Combat, which had 2 end games to it. One was a boss raid that was nothing with the world bosses. It was its own boss with its own mechanics, and every day you would go fight it and you would get, you know, your rewards for it. They were randomized, but you had a chance of getting some really good rewards, or you had a chance of getting really crappy rewards because it was completely gotcha. They also had the Realm Conqueror mode, which was basically an infinite battle simulator with the actual idea behind it that you're fighting hordes of waves of enemies until you reach your limit. It was endless. And, you know, in some of the videos, you know, I curtailed my content to make it more script based because, you know, trying to go ahead and explain all this, instead of trying to explain this in 10 minutes, I would typically explain it in 20 minutes to 30 minutes to try to get my point across. And a lot of people didn't like that type of content. And this is where I'm going to say like this. Even if you're a person that does not like my content, you think a lot of my takes are L's, you know, or you think my takes are W's. And even though I might not be responding to each and every one of you in the comment section, I do read your comments. And if you haven't noticed, especially for some people, I have tried changing my content around to pretty much go with what the comment section is saying that I need to fix. We structured more of a script-based content for videos rather than me just talking off the top of my head like right now, just to ensure that, you know, we stay on topic. And that's where I think maybe a lot of my points are getting mistaken as well, is because it's really, really, really hard to explain criticism in a 10-minute video, if that makes sense. I'm not that good to come out and basically say, hey, I don't like this because of this reason, and then leave it there because there's more to the story. And if you don't have that other part of the story, then in general, you're not going to really understand my point. That's how I feel. But I will say this, like, I think that, you know, in recent times, I have criticized WutheringWaves more and more, because it is a game that I truly do love. I respect Kuro Games. I like the generosity that they do provide for us. I think maybe it's a little bit over the top in some cases, but that's my personal criticism. And that's why, like, I think even for you guys, when you have, you know, your opinions about me and you say this is an L take or a W take, whatever, you know, I'm not looking for someone to come in here and take me 100% seriously when I say something. I just generally want to make people think. A lot of topics, I'm not trying to stir up quote unquote drama, but I'm trying to say, hey, look, this is interesting to me that content creators, for example, are being very positive, toxic, and they're really trying to say WutheringWaves is a perfect game when we all know it's really not. Why are we allowing this? Why are we basically trying to create the second coming of Genshin Impact's toxic community? Because that's what I feel like it would end up changing into. And I don't really explain these in the videos, I don't think. That's the problem. I basically, expect, in a sense, like, hey, look, after a video, if you want to debate me, you want to question me, I got a Discord. You can join a Discord. You can be like, hey, yo, Fox, where the fuck are you, man? I don't agree with this opinion you put out, and we can have that conversation. You can come to the live streams, and it doesn't matter what the hell I'm doing. If you want to ask that question and be like, yo, why did you say this? And you want to have that debate, I find it's really good, because maybe there is things that I am completely misinformed of. Maybe I'm not in touch as much as I think I am in terms of WutheringWaves and things about it that you might be more, informed about, if you would. And I would really like to see about having those types of conversations, because in the end of the day, it helps me be better as not just a content creator in any regards, but more in the general knowledge of WutheringWaves from different perspectives. So I make this promise. I'm going to try to, not do as much criticism to WutheringWaves as I am right now. I'm going to try to limit my nitpicking down as best as I possibly can. I can't guarantee that it's going to 100% stop, okay? Because there is some things that I know will irk me, and I'm going to want to talk about it. But I am going to try to make sure that we are having, positive videos that is like, I'm already planning for 2 of them right now. One of them being what is the top 5 things that WutheringWaves has done that's absolutely brilliant. And another one talking about the 1.4 update that, I do have a theory in my head that it's going to change how WutheringWaves is going to play from that point on. So I do want to talk about that. And I do want to make those videos, and I'm going to do that later. But I felt like this video needed to come out. And I'm going to put it like this, if you're still here at this point. My name's Travis, aka FOXSOL. I do come across as a jackass. I do come across as an asshole. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people has regarded to me to where they felt like, I was a person that, was smug, had an ego and such. But the people who has actually sat down and actually has talked to me starts to learn that I don't mean no ill intentions. I don't mean to come off like this. This is how my brain, this is how my ADHD, whatever you want to call my diagnosis is, this is how I am. I'm all over the place. When I get excited about something, I get passionate, I get loud, and I sometimes get into that tunnel vision to a certain degree to where even though you may not think that I'm not listening to you, I am listening to you. And in terms, I may drown out some things here and there, maybe. But in the end of the day, all my good friends, after spending a good bit of time with me, understand, I'm just like them. And I want to say like this to you. I'm just like you. I'm just a guy that loves WutheringWaves. It's just that there's some things that I think is really cool topics to discuss. And if I do seem to come off like an asshole or something, hey, I'm sorry. Let me know. But please don't take that video if you feel that way to heart. Okay, don't try to, think that I'm doing this on purpose. Come to my live streams, come on a Discord, tell me what I did wrong, and I will do my best to make sure I correct it and take responsibility for it. There's a couple people who left my Discord that I'm still trying to get a hold of to be like, hey, what did I do wrong? Because I want to correct myself whenever something like this happens at the end of the day. So I'll leave it with that. Kind of a long video. Didn't mean for it to be that way. But hopefully, at this point, you'll see some better content from me. And hopefully I can somewhat earn your trust back. But if I can't, then all right. I at least want to tell you that I'm sorry. That I apologize to you. Okay? All right, guys. Well, you have a good one. Like always, keep it classic, keep it jazzy, and always keep it real. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.
Nitpicking.